I am cutting up plaster bandages. Plaster bandages are going to work as our mother mold because silicone is very flexible, and if we poured anything into it, it would get all wobbly.
So we're actually going to pre-weigh in separate containers the A's and the B's. It's really nice because Smooth On, I swear, went out of their way to make sure that they are two very, very different colors.
Mess that up, Mike. Okay. What am I doing? I am cutting up plaster bandages. Plaster bandages are going to work as our mother mold because silicone is very flexible, and if we poured anything into it, it would get all wobbly. So we need something rigid. I'm cutting up 6-inch plaster bandages, 6-inch wide, into 18 or 24-inch strips, but I'm doubling them up. So, I mean, if you can see, as you can see maybe, I am rolling it out to whatever length I need, folding it, and going back on itself. Makes it a lot stronger, not so flimsy. And these are average size to do the head. I will cut some smaller pieces for the face, and maybe a few longer pieces because we have to do front and back mother mold, and we'll need a big, thicker piece for the seam that goes all the way from shoulder to shoulder.
Right now, I'm sure to anyone watching that's probably a little confusing, everything you just said. But I'm curious, they might be, yeah, you can see that there's a bunch of rolls of this. Like, to do a full head cast, would you have any general idea of how many rolls of plaster bandage they should have?
Well, for 4-inch, about 8 rolls is plenty for 4-inch. These are 6-inch, so we may not need all 8, 10 rolls, whatever we had started with. But in general, I like 3 and 4-inch, and then you go about 8 to 10 rolls on those for a full head. A face, you need less than half of that. And also, some people do it where they more than double, they triple, they quadruple, and so make it a lot stronger, and you'll be still going through the same amount of plaster bandages, just be thicker. So.
Right. So now, in my experience, I always used plaster bandage with like lukewarm water, like not cold, not hot, mainly because with really hot water, you could increase the cure time of the plaster. That's been my experience. But something you mentioned earlier, it was that it doesn't matter if it's hot or not. You don't think that really applies to what we're doing today?
Under normal circumstances, yes. Regular set, hot water, even a little salt in the water makes it cure faster or set up faster. But we have very fast or ultra fast, whatever these bandages are. So making the hot water or the salt really isn't going to matter. It's going to be maybe a minute difference. But warm water is also, besides making it go faster, it is, even though the model has silicone or alginate covering their face, you can still feel a little bit of the water. So the temperature, so warmer is just easier on the victim. I'm sorry, the model. But yeah, it's under normal circumstances. If we were using regular set, I would definitely use warm, not hot, but warm water.
Great. Okay, I think I'm going to start weighing out the silicone now. Jeff, would you have a preference? Would you think like 4 different sets of silicone at maybe 100 grams of A and B? So you know what I'm saying? Like, so that'd be like 8 cups.
Yeah.
Or do you think we should do much smaller batches?
The 4 or 8 cups, whatever if you're doing, 4 A's, 4 B's is good enough for the head casts and the face. I would also mix up a smaller 8-ounce or
Gotcha.
50 grams to work around the nose and everything. But
as I was saying, we have our A and our B already poured out. This stuff is pretty thick, so I made sure to fill it into these containers, which will be easier to measure out of. So we're actually going to pre-weigh in separate containers the A's and the B's. It's really nice because Smooth On, I swear, went out of their way to make sure that they are two very, very different colors. And the two different colors will help you keep them separate. So we're going to go ahead and take some of these, turn on our scale.
Mike, I don't know if you answered, or said anything. Why are we making separate cupfuls?
Right. So Jeff brought up a really good point. We're making separate cupfuls because we want this stuff cures very quickly. And due to how quickly it cures, we want to make sure that we have plenty of time to work with it. So we work in small batches. You don't want to waste any. You don't want it setting up too quickly on on the person's face or on your hands and you peel it off. It's a big mess. So work in smaller batches. Now, having said that, I think we will get to a point where we'll mix up a little bit of a bigger batch to maybe go over everything at the end to help thicken up the silicone. This stuff, despite how thick it is when we're mixing, it will drain off of her face, and so it will get really thin. You don't want a super thin silicone layer. You'd like it to be a little bit thicker to help with the support of the shape of the face. So we'll go ahead and do that now. So we're just gonna put this on here. We're gonna zero it out. If you notice, I totally unfortunately had to switch scales. That one was dead. This one is battery seems to be working just fine. So tear that. Now this is a platinum grade silicone that Smooth On offers. It's called Body Double. It's a real clever name they are over at, clever naming people over at Smooth On. But it's specifically designed for life casting. So it's not going to be dangerous at all. Most people don't. I think literally 0.0001% of the population has any allergy to platinum silicone. But otherwise you can use platinum silicone for literally anything on the body. So. And you can see by once I start pouring this, just how thick this stuff is. Let's tear this one more time. Again, the cure time on this stuff it's very, very quick. I will generally say you should always try and get your measurements as spot on as possible, but it's not the end of the world if you go over or under by a couple of grams. So we're aiming for about 100 grams, give or take 1 or 2 grams. Hey Jeff, would you do me a favor and turn this heater off? It was much needed at the beginning, but now it's I'm gonna lie, man, it's a bit much. There we go. I got 101. That's 101 grams. So we got to do that 3 more times of this and then 4 more times of that. If you wanted to go over there and use one of the other scales, Jeff, and maybe weigh out 100 of the pink into 4 containers. I'd ask Rocky, but I feel like she's already going to be punished enough today. And I want to throw a big thanks to Kyle, who's currently off camera. He's basically our producer today. So he's got his headphones on over there. He's managing the Instagram feed as well. So yeah, this is just the actual amounts that I'm doing, this 100 grams. You could do whatever amount. If you wanted to start off slow, you could do small, maybe like 50-50 or 25-25. Oh, that's probably something I should mention too. So this particular silicone is a 1-to-1, meaning it's equal parts A and B. I think most life casting silicone is that, so I don't think you'll ever see one that's not, but there are silicones out there that are different ratios of mixing. Hey Jeff, I think I'm going to weigh out another one at 200 as well. And I should say we have we have body double in a very large quantity, but you can get like 1 gallon kits. I don't know exactly how much it is. I can tell you that this kit I think is about $800 or $900. So it is pricey, but Jeff, as he had mentioned in the intro, um, you once you have a Lifecast in silicone, it basically lasts forever. So unlike alginate, you can only really use once and then it's pretty much destroyed. This we could pour as many heads or use fiberglass as much as we want. So hold on 1 second. I need to go get a Sharpie of some kind. Hey Rocky, where's a Sharpie that I can utilize? Okay. So I'm going to mark the one, Jeff, that's 200. Just so we don't accidentally grab the one that I'm going to weigh out at 200 grams. Yeah. Sounds like they're having fun over there. It sounds like you're in shambles over there, Rocky. What's going on? So another thing that's important, you'll notice we're weighing this out. Jeff cut up all the plaster bandage first. You want to do this all as pretty much part of your prep work, especially the plaster bandage. You don't want the models sitting inside the life cast any longer than they have to. So weigh out all your stuff, get all your stuff prepped, then proceed. Okay.
Use the smaller deli cups. Yeah,
It is fine. You can use the larger deli cups. Not the end of the world. You're going to do one at 200 too?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, which is the one at 200? Oh, okay. So, let's move this right here. Yeah, label the 200 one. So as you can kind of see, these are our, excuse me, our A's. These are our, that's the 200?
Yep.
Okay. These are our B's. And one other thing you'll notice, a little overkill here, but still doable, is that Jeff weighed out the B's in a larger container. Now, for this amount, I don't know, it may have been a bit overkill, but a good thing to notice is that you're going to be pouring one of these into the other. So you want to make sure that whatever container you do, whatever amount you're making, the container that's going to receive the other amount obviously has enough room for it to receive it. So this actually isn't a bad thing that we ended up doing this. So, Jeff, I think that's at least enough to get us started.
That'll get us started. We're going to have to pour more.
Okay.
A whole head takes about...
Can you pick that up if it's on me when he's talking?
Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. A full head should take about 2 of a smooth on sample kits, which is about they're 2 pounds a piece, so 4 pounds should be an entire full head. This is probably going to get us started, but we're going to have to pour some more cups.
Okay, yeah. So, Kyle, can you switch it over to the center screen real quick? So we're gonna have to, with Rocky's hair, it's pretty long. So we're actually gonna kind of wrap it and then string it up to a tripod to keep it out of our way. So I have to go find that. Jeff, here, I'll tell you what. Why don't you take over the camera or the mic and just talk to the people about setting things up. So.